New Zealand Music Month, and we've got Dan Millward joining us in studio. Kia ora, Dan.
Morena, good to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, nice to have you back in. New Zealand Music Month. How's that going so far?
It's cool. It's it's just great to be in a country that is obviously, supporting local music, and I feel grateful to come in today and chat about my own music. I'm an independent artist, so sometimes it can feel a little bit isolating if you just don't have a big team or anything like that encouraging you or keeping you accountable. So these moments of realizing you're in a bigger picture, bigger team or community, it's really nice.
And being in New Zealand, we're a small country, right? So I feel for New Zealand musicians, and then even more so for New Zealand Christian musicians. Is this your full-time gig, and when did you start getting serious about it?
So it's not my full-time gig. I'm actually a tennis coach as well. So
get out.
Yeah.
Stop it, Dan.
It's a funny one. Sometimes if I do a gig after tennis, I just come back and I feel like a split personality. Like what I need to choose,
Are you semi-pro?
I was pretty serious growing up, and so it kind of was a natural thing to just become a coach, I suppose. And thankfully, I'm not like the bitter coach of like not wanting to be on the court. I still enjoy it, but my passion is definitely more in the music, and so it is like you said, it's not an easy thing. Being an artist, especially when it comes to maybe, Auckland's an expensive place to live. So it's just one of those things. I think a lot of us, we're having to do something else as we're also writing and releasing music. Yeah.
Hey, well, tennis not a bad gig.
Dude.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, I love hearing about people's other stuff that's going on in their life, because you just never know what people's stories are, like what their interests are and things like that. Like, I would have had no idea that you were super into tennis. So did you played at like quite a high level and were quite in the tennis world for a while there?
Yeah, I went and played a little bit in America doing college tennis and stuff.
Yeah, right.
And so it was good. But it's really funny. It's like literally just putting on different hats sometimes. And if it's in that world, like one of the kids I was coaching, he tried to search me up online doing tennis stuff or something, and he saw all my music, and he just like, is this the same guy? And then he couldn't believe it. It's like, are you like, it's so funny. So people, in different contexts sometimes.
You're playing yourself down, man. You just skipped over the bit where you were in America playing, right? Dude, so you were on the circuit doing all that sort of stuff?
Kind of, yeah. So
look at you.
I suppose I'm, trying different things here and didn't quite end up being on the tour.
Sure.
But so it's been a cool thing. I feel like I'm slowly moving into we're talking about my tennis here.
It's just interesting.
Really interesting. You're a gifted individual, Dan.
Oh, thanks.
Well, look, it's not New Zealand Tennis Month, is it? It's New Zealand Music Month. Yeah. So, talk about that. You're an independent musician, so you're doing everything yourself. Is it quite hard, like when you're trying to do your own stuff in terms of like the artistic side of things, the songwriting, the actual performance type stuff, but then also it's all like self-promotion. You got to like get your music out, and you got to do all of that. It's quite a difficult thing, right?
Yeah. There are just I think trying to be an artist, it's almost like trying to be a business where there's it's hard because you want it to just be about the art. You really do want to just love the music and create the music. But then you create the song, and then suddenly you're like, well, I don't want no one to listen to it. And so you start thinking about like, now I've got to think about marketing and distribution and shows and maybe I should try to make some money and support myself through my craft. And then you start thinking of merchandise. And there's that tension of just like wanting to create just to create, and how can you actually build a brand and monetize? It's a lot of different things, a lot of moving parts.
Even though you are an independent artist, it's just you. Do you have a little team around you who can actually help you with that?
I've been lucky to have like a great producer and just people that can help out in different ways. But I don't officially have a manager and a label, so I would like to say I'm self-disciplined, but I'm guilty of like procrastinating, and if it's the thing that doesn't have to be done, it's hard to avoid something like that you just have to do, like putting petrol in your car, but if you don't do a social media post for that day,
no one's
really going to tell me off, so it's hard to be consistent sometimes.
With your music, what kind of inspires you? Like, what's your music about?
So I grew up in church playing the drums, and then I learned guitar, all self-taught, just like went on YouTube, bought a guitar and just started learning songs. And so I think there's this kind of organic element to me. I'm not like super, trained, I don't know my theory super well. And so I think when I've started writing songs, it was very much about just me on the guitar, feeling something. It might be something I was going through in my life, and I kind of just put that into a song. Or if it is my music, I want it to come across quite authentic and real, and talking about real stories, real things. In the pop music world, sometimes I think it's presented as a glamorous thing, but at the end of the day, even like top pop artists just sadly having like mental breakdowns and stuff. So I think it's really trying to always keep it real, and that's what I just put on an EP, and that's what that's all about. And
is that how your faith intersects that stuff, and does that help you?
Yeah, definitely. I think growing up, I was a pastor's kid, so I think there's that, like, notoriously known for the pressure, and like the pastor's kids can quite often rebel and be like, too much pressure, and they just go off and lose it. And so I think I was very blessed that my family instilled kind of this unconditional love, and I could feel that if I went off the rail, I kind of knew that there was still going to be love for me, which was cool. And I think I've tried to bring that into my music, that even as an artist, that I'm not just writing Christian music, I'm like writing pop music, but I want it to come across as a way of like where you can bring elements of God, but it's always like grace and just, you know, wholesome topics, but it's not like this kind of on a high horse talking about these things.
Got you, man. Yeah. Tell us your reason behind the song as well.
Awesome. So this song is one of 5 from my last EP, or like my first EP actually, which was really cool to put that out. So the EP is called Genuine, and it's out on everything now, Spotify and Apple Music, wherever you listen to music. And the song, As We Are, kind of reflects the concept of the EP, Genuine, which is pretty much about making sure we take off any kind of facade and mask, and maybe in New Zealand as well, right? Sometimes it's like, how are you? Good. But how often do we maybe actually reveal how we are? And so this is that kind of making sure that you come as you are. And I think from my background in church and having a relationship with God, that is one of the cool things I like about God, is that you can be in the most crazy, sinful situation, whatever it is, right? And it's like, it's all about just trying to actually come as you are to God, and don't fake it. So I think that's the concept of this song is, just being real with each other and trying to know each other for really what's going on. And yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Now, we haven't even mentioned, but there's another person in studio, Holly. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
How you doing, Holly?
I'm feeling fabulous.
That's
How are you?
great. Yeah, good. We're good. Now, you're going to be helping Dan out, right?
Yes, excited.
Okay, right. Your background vocals. And what's your background?
My background, I just have been singing my whole life. Since I can remember, always been wanting to be centre of attention at family gatherings and all.
Yeah.
But yeah, always wanted to sing, always been what I wanted to do, so.
And how do you know Dan?
I actually know Dan. I went to Excel Performing Arts School.
Oh, cool.
And Dan came in and did a workshop with us. And then we've just been in comms since, and it's a great relationship we have here.
That's awesome. Your music is out on Spotify, you did say, right? So people can find you there.
That's
you can
great.
actually see how many people are listening to your song, right?
Yep. Yeah.
So I hear that there's a few people who have been streaming your music.
Yeah.
How many?
I'm super grateful that people have been enjoying it. So far, the EP's we've had maybe about 1.4 million or so since it was released, which
Congrats,
is really
man.
cool. So
It's pretty cool, when you
man.
think about that many people, like, all together stand, that's a lot of people.
Yeah.
Hearing this stuff.
Yeah.
You must have a big family, man.
Do you,
I pay a lot of people. That's why I have to do another job. Yeah.
do you get to see the stats on, like, where people listen from? Is that kind of interesting, seeing around the world where your music's ended up touching people?
Yeah, I think it's a good thing as you try to figure out, okay, where could I start doing some shows? And so Australia, I think, is streaming my music quite a bit.
Nice.
No hard feelings, it's like, that's where it's like, okay, I'm good with you, Australia. I'll come over. Yeah.
And where else? North America?
Yeah, some like random places. So, I mean, North America as well. And then just you get like some places that you kind of just don't think of naturally. Like, you've got the Iceland and just like,
Wow.
just places that you realize, wow, internet goes everywhere, obviously.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
even if I'm not marketing it there, it can somehow get on a playlist.
Somebody in Iceland is loving the tunes.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Congratulations on all your success, Dan. We wish you every bit more of success. I mean, you're very, very grounded, and you've got a great message in your music as well. So I hope that identifies and really resonates with a whole lot of people. Where can people jump on to find you? Have you got a website?
Thanks so much. Yeah, so it's just under my name, Dan Millward, and that's under Spotify and social media and everything. So yeah, feel free to connect with me online. I always love it if people have actually listened and have resonated with what I've created. It's awesome and encouraging for me. So yeah,
cool.
Feel free to connect.
Awesome. Okay, introduce your song and then take it away, man.
Cool, thank you. So this one's called As We Are. Again, thanks so much, Holly, for being here. She's such a good singer. And so it's cool to be able to have her singing with me. And yeah, hope you guys enjoy this. Wake up, realize that we don't get to make up for every second that we seem to waste up. We don't get to do this all again. Take up this moment and let go of all the fake love, 'cause all these screens and images are made up. I'm sick and tired of trying to pretend. What do we to speak our mind and the truth? We don't need to be confined and abused. Right now we just talk, but the light's still in view. So carry on. If there is any breath, there's a light still in you. So take another step, let it shine from a hill. Cutting through your fears, you will find you can choose to be something more. Show me your heart, show me what is real in a world that seems lost. 'Cause we all live with different scars, but we all need to come as we are. Show me your heart, we can be what's real in each moment we've got. 'Cause we all come with different scars.